Day 5 of Norway Chess 2022 saw the two leaders, former 5-time world champion Vachier-Lagrave and his successor, also 5-time world champion Magnus Carlsen, face each other. The other game at the top of the table was Shakhriyar Mamedyarov, the current number 14 in the FIDE rankings, against Wesley, the current world number 6. Mamedyarov started with d4 and after the reply with knight to f6, and a couple of moves later the queen's gambit declined 3 knights variation, was on the board. Then went for the so-called semi-Tarrasch defense with c5, an offensive line in which we could expect an exciting game. On move 13 captured the pawn on b2, which led to an overall exchange, and finally ended in this equal position, where black played with a queenside pawn majority, but a ruined kingside pawn structure against white, with a kingside pawn majority. Mamedyarov afterwards stated in the interview that for him it would not be easy to play this position with black, and that he was totally impressed by who moved very fast and knew how to handle this position, and eventually the game ended in a draw on move 47. In the Armageddon game, Mamedyarov started with knight on f3, the reti opening, which is a very flexible and positional flank opening where white can wait and see what black is doing and then take the game in many different directions. On move 9, when attacked the knight on f3, Mamedyarov intentionally allowed the double pawn to open the g-file for an attack on the black king. He commented that the position without castling, but with attractive attacking possibilities, was optimal for an Armageddon game. And he indeed played on the attack, and so it came to this position on move 31. Which was extremely difficult to defend for with only 2 minutes left on the clock. And thus Mamedyarov launched the following crushing attack. And resigned on move 39. It was interesting to see that the strategy specifically aimed at Armageddon worked, but it should also not be overlooked that this extended time concept for the Armageddon game has to be criticized, since in Norway Chess so far there have been 13 victories with white, with only 2 draws and thus victories for black. The game between Anand and Carlsen started with e4 and after the third move bishop to c4 the Italian game was on the board. Carlsen responded with knight to f6, the 2 knights defense, which can lead to great complications, and so Anand continued with d3, which meant that he opted for slow positional struggles and not for flashy tactical lines. And so it was that the first piece was captured only on move 15, and after some exchanges, Anand played the deep move rook to e2, which later supported the advance of his b-pawn by doubling the rooks. And actually Anand managed to build up enormous pressure with his b-pawn and advance to the 7th rank. At that point he was leading with plus 3.9. Anand commented in the interview that here the queen move to g4 combined with the knight move to f5 would have been the clear winning moves, and he was annoyed not to have found them. Instead the following moves were played. And after Magnus managed to exchange queens and win the pawn on b7, the evaluation was 0.0. And so it came that the two agreed on a draw in this position on move 40, and since Magnus was able to save the almost lost game, the momentum for the Armageddon game was certainly on his side. In the Armageddon game again the Italian game was on the board. This time Magnus tried to get Anand out of the book with the bishop maneuver to c5 and then back to e7. with the brilliant knight move to f2 on move 23, where the knight could not be captured due to the pawn fork. Carlsen managed to place his knight comfortably on e4 and take the lead with an evaluation of plus 1.2 for black. But then on move 37 this super complicated and extremely sharp position was reached. But Carlsen, with only a few seconds left on the clock, was able to mitigate it with the best moves. But time was the problem, especially because Anand was also playing very accurately. Carlsen made the crucial mistake of taking the pawn on g6, because after the exchange of queens this gave Anand the opportunity to penetrate the black position with his rook. With only 1 second left on the clock, Carlsen blundered his knight and resigned. After this incredible performance, the 52-year-old Vachier-Lagrave is leading the Norway Chess 2022. If you liked the video, please hit the like button below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest chess news and tournament highlight videos. Thanks for watching.